দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি ম্যাকুয়ারি ইউনিভার্সিটি স্টাডি ইন অপরচুনিটি ইন অস্ট্রেলিয়া অনুষ্ঠানে। আপনাদের সঙ্গে আছি আমি শরীফুল ইসলাম খান। অস্ট্রেলিয়ায় উচ্চশিক্ষার নানা দিক আলোচনার জন্য আজ আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন অস্ট্রেলিয়ার ম্যাকুয়ারি ইউনিভার্সিটির ডেপুটি ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর প্রফেসর জিম লি। আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন মিস্টার ম্যাট মংকহাউস, উনি এশিয়া অঞ্চলের রিজিওনাল ডিরেক্টর। আমাদের সঙ্গে আরও রয়েছেন আপনাদের পরিচিত মিস্টার তানভীর শহীদ, এশিয়া রিজিয়নের সিনিয়র কান্ট্রি ম্যানেজার। এবং আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন অস্ট্রেলিয়ান হাই কমিশনের অস্ট্রেডের বিজনেস ডেভেলপমেন্ট ম্যানেজার মিস্টার মুস্তাফিজুর রহমান। Thank you all for coming to this program. We are going to start talking to them about the study opportunities in Australia. Professor Jim, first of all, thank you for coming to Bangladesh. My first question to you really, what are the benefits of studying overseas, according to you?
Well, there's many benefits. I myself studied overseas. I think, first of all, having an international experience is really important because it gives you a sense of independence, and I think it also helps you as a student become more confident in your own abilities. Another reason for studying abroad, and particularly in Australia, is to learn English. It's a great place to learn English, either formally in a classroom or just practicing with friends and other students. A third reason is friends, making those friends. In a university like Macquarie, you will meet friends from all over the world, and that means you will have contacts after you finish. Fourth reason is with this knowledge of English and making friends, you begin to acquire what I call cultural competence. It's that ability to deal with different cultures. And that's really important because today employers value the notion of person understanding how to work in different cultures around the world. So it's a great advantage for students.
Next question to Mr. Matt Mongkhaus. Can you tell us about general education in Australia? And also, why students should consider studying in Australia?
Sure. Look, it's something that Australia does very well, international education, and has been doing for a very long time, very competent at it. Australia is known for its high-quality teaching and research in its universities, and Australia is actually also known for a lot of its research output and some great discoveries and inventions. For example, some that include black box technology for aircraft, cochlear ear implants, working on bionic eye, Wi-Fi technology, which I should add was actually invented or originated at Macquarie with CSIRO assistance, things like spray-on skin. So a range of innovations coming from Australia. But other benefits as well. We talked about the multiculturalism. Professor Lee touched on that. That's one great aspect of Australian education, right through to basically having legislation that protects international students. So students coming to Australia for international education can rest assured that basically there's all sorts of systems in place at the universities to ensure that they are very well supported. So as well as a quality education, there's a range of support networks that students benefit from.
Mr. Tanvi, my next question to you. Since Macquarie University is located in Sydney, and Bangladeshis know Sydney more than any other cities in Australia probably. But would you be able to tell us about Sydney, about the city, what it is like living in Sydney? Why would students consider studying in Sydney?
Sydney is one of the best city in the world. As per the various travel magazine, it's one of the top 10 livable city in the world over the last decade. So, and we have seen that there are more than 30,000 Bangladeshis are actually living in Sydney. And in terms of the education, we have been seeing a huge number of students, especially from South Asia, Bangladesh. They have been coming to Sydney over the time. And as Matt mentioned, it's a very multicultural city. So people would feel that home away home. At this moment, say for an example, at Macquarie University, we have over 100 nationalities starting on one campus. Sydney might have nearly 200 different nationalities. People are living in Sydney. Another advantage is good weather, and it's very similar to Bangladeshi weather. They don't have that much humid weather, but it's really temperature is in between 7 degrees to 30 degrees. So weather, people, and very warm people they are. So the students, when international students from Bangladesh, they come to Sydney, they feel a bit welcome. And as I mentioned, that there are over 30,000 Bangladeshis are there. So each and every student, we have found that they have some sort of relatives or family friends are living there.
Add to that as well, Sydney is the corporate and commercial headquarters of Australia. So the multinational companies and the organisations in Australia, students may study in other cities around Australia, but many will come back to Sydney to find work, being the corporate and commercial headquarters. I think that's another opportunity for students to come and find graduate positions and work in Sydney is very strong as well. And I think also, just again touching on quality of life, Sydney is consistently rated in the top sort of 10 destinations as the most livable city, and as a destination for international students, it's consistently ranked in the top 4 cities worldwide. So it's always ranking very highly.
Yeah, this is very important information that we really touched on. Professor Jemli, next question is for you. Can you tell us about the research and sort of, teaching facilities and opportunities in Macquarie University?
Macquarie University is a wonderful university that's located on 160 hectares of beautiful parkland right in the center of the city of Sydney. So it's quite a special and unique place. There are 38,000 students that are studying there that come from over 100 different countries. About 13,000 of those students are international students. So we're really quite proud to have a large number of nationalities on our campus. Macquarie University is considered to be one of the top universities in Australia, very highly ranked in all of the global ranking systems. And in particular, we are ranked 9th in the world as one of the most international universities. So this is something that we're quite proud of. In terms of research and teaching, we have a lot of strengths. We're a comprehensive university, so that means we have all of the standard subjects. In particular, though, we are known worldwide for our environmental research, geological or earth science research, education, very well known in education and psychology, also physics and engineering. And Matt mentioned, in fact, that Wi-Fi, so when you pick up your iPhone or your Samsung, that technology was actually invented partly at Macquarie University. And of course, history, ancient history, is another area where we're very strong. So we're very, very proud to be offering all of these subjects to our students. Accounting and finance actually is one of our largest subjects, very, very popular. And in fact, half of the Bangladeshi students that are studying at Macquarie are actually studying in accounting and finance. So these are areas that I think distinguish Macquarie. There are actually 4 unique factors about Macquarie which make it different from any other Australian university. The first is that it is the only Australian university to have its own train station. So this means that it's a really, really easy way to get to the university. And you can live almost anywhere in the city and get to the university very quickly. We're also the only Australian university to own our own hospital. So again, there's wonderful opportunities for interacting with medicine and the health sciences. A third unique factor is that Macquarie is located within what we call a high technology precinct. So we're actually surrounded by companies, which means that there are wonderful opportunities for students to interact with corporations and industry as part of their education. And the last factor, which makes Macquarie unique, is that we actually own our own land. So we have so much land, 160 hectares, that it's really like an oasis or a park within the city of Sydney. And this makes it a wonderful place to study, very relaxing. And some of the photographs that you see around the studio here show the campus.
My next question to Mr. Tanvi Shohid again. What do you think the relationship between Macquarie University and Bangladesh?
We have recently developed a MOU with the ministry in Bangladesh, specifically Ministry of Public Administration. So we have been training the BCS cadre service officers every year, almost 15 to 20 people from the bureaucrat. They come to Macquarie University for a very short course under the various Australian sponsor bodies like AusAid funding. Apart from that, there are very generous scholarships being offered to Ministry of Public Admin officers for Macquarie, where they have to pay only the 50% of the tuition fees. So beside that, there are lots of other initiatives we are taking with the ministry. Apart from that government engagement, we have the engagement with, very strong engagement with few of the top universities in Bangladesh. You'd be happy to know that just today we have signed the MOU with Dhaka University. We already have MOU with BRAC University. We are going to work with another few other universities like East West University. So there is commitment from the Macquarie University, a deep engagement with Bangladesh, and these are the areas we are focusing. But at the same time, the students who are in Macquarie University, the Bangladeshi students, the university is really looking after them, not only in terms of the academic or the orientation for the Sydney or in Australia. We actually formed associations. It's called that MUPSA, Macquarie University Student Association of Bangladeshi students. So what they do every 2-3 months, they do get together. They do lots of other cultural activities, and they are actually promoting Bangladesh and in Macquarie University, where you would have another 100 different nationalities. So we have nearly 200 Bangladeshi students at this moment studying at Macquarie University, and they are actually, literally, each one of them is an ambassador for Bangladesh in Australia.
Very nice to know, and I think Bangladeshi students would love to know about this type of information. দর্শক দেখছেন ম্যাকোয়ারি ইউনিভার্সিটি স্টাডি অপরচুনিটি ইন অস্ট্রেলিয়া অনুষ্ঠান। এই পর্যায়ে নিচ্ছে বিরতি, ফিরছি একটু পরেই। সেই পর্যন্ত আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকুন। দর্শক আবারও আমন্ত্রণ ম্যাকোয়ারি ইউনিভার্সিটি স্টাডি অপরচুনিটিজ ইন অস্ট্রেলিয়া অনুষ্ঠানে। আমরা এখন কথা বলবো মিস্টার মোস্তাফিজুর রহমানের সাথে। উনি অস্ট্রেলিয়ায় আছেন, অস্ট্রেলিয়ান ট্রেড কমিশন, যেটা লোকেটেড এট অস্ট্রেলিয়ান হাই কমিশন। Can you tell us about the number of universities in Australia, and also how many international students currently study in Australia?
Thanks, Shariful. We have 40 universities back in Australia. Out of 40, 3 is private and 37 is public university. And there are around 400,000 students studying in Australia from 190 countries. So if you look at the number of countries, students coming to Australia, it's very interesting. They realize the study in Australia is quite top class and high class. I can give you one interesting point that you can understand how good the Australian education is. We got 14 Nobel warrior in Australia, and Australia is the 13th largest economic country in the world. And it is only possible because of the good quality education.
Mr. Tanvir Shahid would be able to probably tell us how do they apply to Macquarie University?
You need to understand that what actually university needs to get issue the admission offer letter. Mainly two things. One is the English proficiency requirement. So student from Bangladesh, they can get IELTS or TOEFL, that sort of exam to prove their English proficiency. And most of our courses are requirement is 6.5 overall, individual band 6 and above. So that is the one aspect. And the second aspect is academic requirement. So every student, they have to meet their academic requirement to their applied course. So we have a website. It's www.mq.edu.au. We have our online application form over there. So any Bangladeshi student, they can go to the website. It's a very user-friendly application form, so they can fill out their details. They can even download their IELTS requirements and their educational qualification, and they can submit it, and university will provide, if they're eligible, will provide an offer letter. At the same time, Macquarie University has 10 business partners in Bangladesh. So students are also welcome to visit these offices through these business partners, and these business partners are providing that service almost free of charge to Macquarie University students to apply for the offer letter. And once the students get the offer of admission letter, then they have to pay the first semester tuition fees, and then the university will provide the final confirmation of enrollment letter. With that letter, they need to apply for the visa through Australian High Commission in Dhaka.
Can you tell us about what it is like a day in Sydney for us Bangladeshi students who are currently in Macquarie?
Macquarie University, they may need to do 3 to 4 courses, most of the time 4 subjects. It's 16 credit hours. So 16 credit hours, most of the time it means that 16 hours face-to-face teaching in a week. Whereas when they studied at Bangladesh, it might be that they have to go to 5 days a week in their respective universities or the schools. But in Australia, they can do it within even 2 days or a maximum 3 days. They can plan their class timetable in a week. So a week starts with a few class, followed by the tutorial. And then the other 2-3 days in Australia, they can work 40 hours per fortnight. So we have seen that Bangladeshi students, they work part-time as well. But it's not only the money factor that they are working for part-time work, but it's also gaining the experience. If the students, as Professor Jim mentioned, that we have the students of accounting areas. So if they're going for the accounting firm, so they're getting a bit of a hands-on experience, what they are studying over there. So Australia is giving that advantage.
So nice to know about all these things, and I'm sure that our audience are going to find this information very invaluable. Thank you so much, Mr. Tanvi Shoaid. Professor Jim Lee, can you really tell us a bit about sort of what kind of report that you get from Bangladeshi students? I mean, are they really doing fine from academic point of view?
Yeah. I love getting Bangladeshi students on campus. They're very, very hardworking, and but they love life. And as Tanveer mentioned, they formed a student association. And I would say this is probably the most active student association on campus. They love music and dancing, and they bring a wonderful cultural experience to all of the other students on campus. And because we have such an international campus, I think the fact that the Bangladeshi students take such a proactive interest in promoting their culture is a wonderful thing. In fact, they were so popular that the Bangladeshi High Commissioner came from Canberra, drove all the way to Sydney to participate in their activities.
In South Asia, the highest number of PhD students going to Australia is actually from Bangladesh. Not India, not Pakistan, not other in South Asia. So you can understand the quality of Bangladeshi students going Australia for doing PhD is remarkable. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the quality, we are actually doing really, really nice. We are getting most of the top students from Bangladesh going Australia for higher education, which is...
I would have to agree. I think my experience is, but the students are coming over to study their bachelor's, their master, or going into higher research degrees. They adjust very well to the academic style of Australian universities, the way of teaching. But also to the Australian lifestyle as well. So they are hardworking and fit in very well and adjust very quickly. And I think there's a lot of cultural similarities, particularly across sport as well. So I think students fit in quite well. Mm.
Thank you so much, guys. I mean, this is really very good to know, and I'm sure our students are going to be very encouraged about it. Mr. Matt, would you be able to tell us a bit about the scholarship opportunities that are available in Macquarie University?
Macquarie University has one of the most generous scholarship programs out of any university, particularly in Australia. We do have scholarship opportunities available for students, again, right through from bachelor, master's programs, and also into PhD. Macquarie University essentially has a budget available of around $4.7 million per year available for scholarships. Through bachelor and master's programs, we have what's called our Vice Chancellor scholarships. They are merit-based scholarships to the value of $4,000 to $10,000 Australian dollars. Basically, that depends on a student GPA and the course they're going into, but lots of opportunities for tuition assistance, basically with those scholarships. Then at the research level, of course, basically we have full scholarships available. Students can get their entire tuition covered and also receive a stipend in certain circumstances as well, IPRS scholarships. But then there's also scholarships available outside of Macquarie as well. Students could certainly be investigating opportunities through the Australia Award programs and AusAid funding and other various areas.
Mr. Mustafizur Rahman, how Australian High Commission is helping Bangladeshi students and especially Australia's role in Bangladesh?
The main role is to do and look at the research area first, and that's why we are doing a lot of MOU signing between the local universities and Australian universities. In Bangladesh, we do the same thing. We also do organize Australian Education Excellence Showcase every year, where the Australian university representatives coming to Bangladesh, communicating with the interested students who are interested to go Australia and know a lot about their courses, their course fees, the scholarship and everything. I would like to add one thing with Matt. The Macquarie University most of the universities they have their own scholarship program. From Australian government point of view, he mentioned that we call Australia Awards. And from Australia Awards, from Bangladesh, every year over 40 to 50 students actually going to Australia for higher education. Top on that, we have a department called Australian Education International, AEI. They have also a scholarship program, and they're giving almost 40 to 50 every year. Bangladeshis are going to Australia for higher education. So the education sector is heavily involved, the whole operation, the Australian High Commission here in Dhaka, Bangladesh. We are also helping Bangladeshi universities to visit Australia to find out the opportunity where they can jointly organize industry-specific solutions in different emerging industry sector in Bangladesh that we call customized training programs. We do have also a good understanding student exchange program, teachers exchange program, and a lot of activities both the university. And from Australian High Commission office through my office, we actually providing all sort of informations if anybody is interested about Australia from the student side, at the same time from the university and institutional side to have the Australian expertise in Bangladesh. So that is our main priority sector that we look after from our office. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mustafiz. Professor Jim Lee, students would love to know if there is any advice from you.
I think I can probably summarize our conversations here by saying that if you would like to get a high-quality education with a rich international experience, but in a caring and nurturing environment, come to Macquarie University. And Australia is a great place to watch some terrific cricket. So we're always welcoming anyone from Bangladesh.
Thank you so much, Professor Jim Lee. Matt, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule again to come and talk to us, especially your information. শুধু দর্শকবৃন্দ, আর ধন্যবাদ আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য এতক্ষণ। আশা করি আমাদের অতিথিদের মূল্যবান বক্তব্য এবং তাদের দেয়া তথ্য আপনাদেরকে সহায়তা করবে যারা অস্ট্রেলিয়াতে পড়াশোনা করতে যেতে চাচ্ছেন, স্পেশালি ম্যাকোয়ারি ইউনিভার্সিটিতে। ধন্যবাদ আমাদের সাথে এতক্ষণ থাকার জন্য।